this, right? You're like a McDonald's franchisee. So basically, you franchised McDonald's, and now you sort of you're the ambassador of the brand of McDonald's, and your job is to make sure your McDonald's franchise, right, is actually successful. Okay, so in this case, it's the same thing, right? You have joined our company, and you are now an ambassador of the brand of our company and our products and services around the world. Right? In this case, it would be World Ventures and Dream Trips. Okay, so you have to really embody that, not not from what you say, not just from what you say, but also what you do. And the old saying is, right, are you in World Ventures, or is World Ventures in you? Okay, so when I started this business in October 10, 2010, when I first joined the company, honestly speaking, World Ventures wasn't in me yet. So I had to bring myself to an event like this, United, okay, in USA. So I had to fly all the way to Dallas, right? And the first time I attended the big convention was actually in Las Vegas. And that was the first time I met the corporate team, and I met all these people from this lifestyle club for the first time. And during the event, really, I can tell you, right, my belief level went through the sky. I talked to almost everyone I could grab in that event hall to listen to their stories and ask them, how are they enjoying their lifestyle right now? Have they done this kind of thing before? What are the results that they have seen? And that really gave me that belief, right? And my belief level just shot through the roof. And that was when World Ventures started to become inside me. Okay, so think about it, right? I had to spend my own money out of my own pocket to buy a plane ticket, book a hotel, and fly, almost like 18 hours or so from Singapore, right, all the way in Asia, all the way to the US, just to attend that convention, so that I can, get World Ventures inside me, and then I can up my belief level so that I can come back to Asia and share that belief and confidence to the people around me. So to me, I am an entrepreneur, and my mindset is very simple, right? To me, imagine there's no McDonald's in Asia, there's no McDonald's in Singapore, right? And I'm the first group of people, the pioneers, to bring the McDonald's brand to Asia. What would you do if you were in my position, right? If the company said that, Dennis, you have to come to the US, you have to come to Dallas, you have to come to Las Vegas, and you have to come and learn how to succeed in our business, would you, if you were in my position, have bought that plane ticket, even if you had no money, right? Even if you had very difficult financial situation, would you have pumped that money, and got that money somehow and got yourself to get that plane ticket? Well, that's exactly what I did. All right, that was almost 10 years ago, and I have never regretted that decision because my mindset is I'm an entrepreneur. I started my own business. I'm sort of like franchising this brand from the US to Asia. And my job is to become successful in this business no matter what. All right. And I give myself at least, right, at that point of time, okay, honestly, I wasn't 100% sure that this is going to be a great business when I first started. So other than having to fly to US, to see for myself with my own eyes, right, to go to the headquarters in Plano, to touch the walls of the office, to meet the staff, to talk to the people there, just to build my belief. Other than that, I told myself, I give myself 2 years, all right, 2 years to go 100% into this business. And in 2 years, I must see results, right? I must see positive results. Okay, so, when you talk about long-term thinking, right, you got to tell your team members, firstly, you got to have the mindset of an entrepreneur running your own business. Okay, you're willing to invest time, money, and effort, and your belief into that business, your commitment. Okay. Number two, give yourself a minimum of 2 years. Minimum of 2 years, because in any traditional business, nobody can expect to start making back their investment in a traditional business within their first 6 months or even 3 months or even a year sometimes. Okay. I mean, if you have to start a traditional business, you probably have to invest $50,000, $100,000 or more just to rent a shop, get some products in, employ some staff, invest in an accounting software, something like that. So before you even start making a single dollar back, you've already invested thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, right, in most traditional business. So that mindset is very important. And you have to tell your team members, right, that you give yourself at least 12 months to 24 months. For me, minimum 24 months to put in time, effort, and commitment into the business before I expect to see positive results. Okay, so long-term thinking is that's the key here. It's very, very important. All right, especially now, especially in this current situation, current times, when the whole world is facing so much challenges, right? The economy and all this situation right now. So even the company, and it's not just our company, almost every company out there is facing the same challenges. Even now is the time, right, where you really need to have that long-term thinking, right? Don't look at your feet, don't stare at your toes, right? You need to look straight up in front. You need to look far. You need to have that vision, that long-term thinking vision. What's going to happen after this whole situation is over, right? And that could be anywhere between 3 months, 6 months down the road, okay? And this is going to be over sooner or later. It's going to be over, and the world is going to come back up stronger, okay? And everybody's going to be raring to get out there and go on dream trips and enjoy that lifestyle, right, all over again. And obviously it's going to be even larger, huge, more greater demand, right, than ever, right? Because I know for a fact that me, right, I cannot stay like this cooped up at home for for months on end. I'm about to go crazy, right? So I really, once the signal comes, right, I'm gonna get myself on a plane and fly somewhere, right? So that's me. Okay, so long-term thinking. The second thing is 100% duplication. So the second concept you have to instill in your team is you need the team to be duplicable. That means 100%. Just like how McDonald's franchise is the most successful burger franchise in the world, right? McDonald's, okay? Or companies like Subway sandwiches, the largest franchise in the world. If not the number one most successful franchise in the world, Subway sandwich and McDonald's. These two are perfect examples of 100% duplication, okay? And what do I mean by 100% duplication, okay? So everybody walks the same way, talks the same way, does the business the same way, using just one simple system, all right? Don't overcomplicate things, okay? If you have a standard presentation slide that works, get your whole team to just use that standard presentation slide. Of course, they can add in their testimonials, their experiences while traveling, a little bit of their own story, okay, and invite other people to share their story. But keep that slide, the presentation, the same, okay? Keep it what we call KISS. Keep it short and sweet. Keep it simple and short, all right, whatever you want to call it. All right? Keep it simple and so that even silly people can just duplicate it. Okay, so KISS, 100% duplication, right? And the training, right? So that's why we have, in our company, we teach very simple steps like inviting, sharing, enrolling and educating, right? IC, and P, promoting. So it's very simple concept, very simple steps that everybody can duplicate. Okay, so let me repeat the two important concepts you need to instill in your organization. Number one, long-term thinking. Number two is 100% duplication. Keep it simple and short and sweet, short and simple. Okay, so that's the two mindsets I want to share with you. All right. Now let's talk about the process of duplication. Okay, so how do you actually duplicate your team? All right. So the first thing is you start by yourself. Okay, so write this down. You start by yourself. You lead by example. That's step number one. Okay, lead by example, and then you wanna do right. Basically, you wanna learn right. How do you lead by example? Is you learn. Okay, you learn the successful system from your mentors, from people like Mark, etc., our global director of training, okay? They have taught you the most proven, simplest way to succeed in this business. So just learn from them, okay? It's very simple. All right, so start from yourself, you learn. And then the second step is to actually do it, right, every day. So you have to take massive action in order to have massive results. So by doing the things that you learn, right, every day, you are actually showing, right, leading by example. You're showing your team, right, that you are doing it every day, and they will follow. All right, because in your organization, it's just basically two kinds of people: a leader and a follower. So if you're a leader, you have to start doing what you say every day. You do what you preach, and then they will follow you. Right? They will follow because they're looking at what are you doing every day. So if you're doing Zoom calls every day with your team, your prospects, they will follow you, right? If your team is able to duplicate that, the Zoom calls and the presentations and the training calls, then, everything starts to get into motion, okay? So you learn and then you do. And then the third step, the final step, is to teach. That means you teach your leaders, you teach those people in your organization who step up. That means they raise their hand. When you say, hey, I need volunteers for testimonials, they'll raise their hand. When you say, hey, I need people to step up and start doing the Zoom calls instead of me doing it all the time, you guys need to start doing it, and they raise their hands. These are your leaders. Okay, so you start to teach and guide them how to duplicate the successful system and see them duplicating themselves. Okay, so basically, let me repeat the process of duplication. It's very simple. Just 3 steps: learn, do, and teach. Okay, so eventually, if you duplicate these 3 steps, learn, do, and teach, repeat it in your organization. You learn, you do it, you teach. You will find that your leaders start to do the same thing. They are learning from you, they are learning from the company, right? And they are doing what they say every day, and they start to become teachers. Okay, so the journey of building a huge team, solid team, right, is you start off as a student. All right, you start as a student, you're a humble student. You learn from the successful mentors that you have in your team, right? Your leadership, right, and the company. You learn from them, and then you start to do those things every day, and you step up to be a leader. So from a student, you become a leader. And after you become a leader, the next step is to become a teacher. All right, that means you teach other people to be leaders. You teach the students to become leaders, and then you teach the leaders to also become teachers. And that's when your organization starts to explode. All right, so that is what you can do to start the process of duplication. Now, another thing that can help you to duplicate your team is what we call the support system. Right, so every company has a support system, and we're so fortunate because of Mark, etc. Our company has a fantastic support system, a training support system, and the company gives us wonderful support in many different ways. So there's 3 elements that you can what we call leverage or make use of to duplicate your team massively. All right, and this is what we call the support system. So key number 1, right? There's 3 keys. Okay. Key number 1 is all the events, all right, events. And we're talking about live events, we're talking about face-to-face events, we're talking about online events, training calls, Zoom calls, like this event, United, okay? And these are what we call the meetings and events, right? The first key to duplicating your team. So in our training, we teach you to promote all the events, all right? Promote every event that's coming up next. Okay, so basically we do what we call BAM FAM, right? Book a meeting from a meeting, right? BAM FAM, book a meeting from a meeting. So basically every time you finish prospecting, talking to someone, you are booking a meeting from a meeting. You are promoting the next event. So it could be your personal event, it could be a team event, it could be the company event. So you're always promoting the next event. Why? Because that is part of the support system that duplicates your team. Okay, so when you're not around, your team members are attending the events. When you're doing something else, your team members are attending the events. When you are attending the event, the team members are also following you to attend the event. So this is where you start to leverage other people's time to build your business and your wealth and your success in this business. Okay, so that's the key number one. Key number two, of the support system is what we call your tools. So our company, we're so fortunate because we're 100% online, work from home, work from anywhere business. No logistics to worry about, no delivery headaches, no having to worry about all this kind of expiry date of products and stuff, because our business has no such problems. Okay, so we just need to make use of all our online support tools, right? For example, like our website. Videos, right? Our push play videos, right? Like a company's dream trips videos, and all this kind of tools. Anything that you can find, okay, to help you to leverage your time, okay, to build your business with or without you. That means even if you're not around, your team members are watching a training video, say by Matt Morris, okay? When you're not around, your team is inviting prospects to a Zoom call by, say, Jefferson Santos, right? So all these tools help you to build your business while you are not around, okay? So this is very powerful. And the third and final key to the support system is you need to leverage your working mentors, right? Working mentors means that the leaders above you in your organization who are guiding you all the time, who are helping you, who are active, meaning they are actually doing all the things that you are doing and all the leaders are doing to build a business every day. So I leverage my working mentors a lot. People like Matt Morris, Shush Arya, Jefferson Santos. These are my working mentors. So I want to leverage them. I want to invite them to be on a Zoom call. I want to invite them to be on a training call, once a month, at least, right, to help me to train and build my team. Okay, so 3 keys of support. Number 1 is what we call the events. Number 2 is the tools, and number 3 is your working mentors. All right, so that's the keys. Okay, please remember that. All right, now let's talk about 5 things. Okay, 5 important, or we call 5 golden rules that you need to instill in your organization and team, right, to make sure they still are around. Okay, they don't suddenly disappear overnight. And trust me, it can happen, okay? And it has happened many times, even to my organization, right? Because people don't follow the 5 golden rules, okay? And you could find that a team suddenly just disappears overnight because they did not follow these 5 golden rules. So listen carefully, right? These are the 5 golden rules. Number 1, if you have any new ideas, concepts, okay, anything new that you're thinking of doing, please discuss it with your mentors first. Discuss it with your successful mentors first before you go and do it. Why? Because don't reinvent the wheel. If you did something, right, that you think, if you're trying to do something that you think is smart, okay, please go and consult them first, because they're going to tell you whether it's going to work or not. They've probably done it themselves, and if it failed, they could have prevented you from wasting time, energy, and money, right, by making the same mistakes. So this is a warning, right? Number 1, please discuss any new ideas, concepts, or anything new that you want to do in your team with your mentors first. Okay. Rule number 2 is do not pass anything negative down to your team. Okay. No negative news, no negative emotions, no negative feelings. Okay. So if you're feeling down, you're feeling sad, you are unhappy with someone in the company or whatever, right? Don't start complaining to your leaders in your team. Why? Because positive news spreads fast. Negative news or negativity spreads even faster in your organization. It's like wildfire. It's going to destroy your entire business. Right? So be very careful of that. And remember these, the 3 C's that you don't want to do. Criticize, compare, and complain. Okay? Do not criticize anyone in your team openly. All right, in a group or whatever. Don't do that. Okay, don't criticize other teams, don't criticize other leaders, okay, because you don't like them or whatever, right? Because what you do duplicates. Don't complain and don't compare. Okay, so be very careful. Don't start saying like, hey, I think that team is, the way they do things is horrible, right? Don't follow them, right? Follow us, this kind of thing. Don't compare with each other, and don't criticize, don't complain. Okay, So this is very important. The 3 C's, don't do that. All right. The only person that you can do these 3 C's to is your successful mentor. Okay, why? Because they are experienced enough to take your trash. Okay, but don't do it too often, because if you're complaining, criticizing, and comparing, all over the place to your mentors every other week, one day when you start to call them again, you'll find that nobody answers the phone. Okay, so because nobody wants to listen to your negative stuff all the time. All right, so remember, stay positive. As a leader, you're always looking for solutions. You are not focusing on the problem, right? You're looking for a solution, and you're working hard to solve whatever issues that you have. Okay, so golden rule number 3 is do not go and get involved with other people's business, other teams' business. Okay, that means don't go around asking other team leaders, hey, how much money are you making? Hey, what are you doing to build a business so quickly? All right. Of course, you can always share positive ideas. But the thing is, right, just remember, okay, if your team, okay, if you're an experienced leader, it's still okay. But if your new team member, fresh guy, starts to go and ask around everywhere, to other teams, like, hey, what are they doing that's making them succeed faster, or how much money are you making? If it's positive, great. But what if it's something that is wrong, something that is negative, okay? It could actually negatively impact, right, their belief in your team's system, or your company's system, or the whatever you're teaching to your team right now. Okay, so warn your new team members especially, right? Don't go and interfere with other people's business, all right? Especially this very, very bad thing that new people like to do. They like to go and talk to people from other teams, and if that those people are not so happy with whatever their team is doing or their situation, they could be tempted to try and poach or cross recruit these people to your team, or other teams, new people could try to cross recruit your team members to their team. All right, so be very careful. Have a strict warning in your team, especially to the new team members. Do not try to cross recruit or poach other team members to your team. All right, and if others try to poach your people, make sure you warn them, highlight, and warn them that this is against company policies. And the worst case scenario could be that the company finds out, or you somehow have some sort of evidence, right, or they have evidence, and they report this to compliance in the company, and these new team members could get terminated, all right, and they lose their entire business. All right, golden rule number 4 is do not get involved with financial issues. Okay, meaning don't borrow money from each other. Don't pay for your team members' membership fees. Don't get into all this kind of financial issues. Why? Because it could be a very small amount, but that could be devastating in terms of relationship between you and your team members, all right, or between them, because they could get in a quarrel and all that just because of a small amount of money. Okay, and that could destroy your organization overnight. And the last golden rule number 5 is do not get involved with emotional relationship issues, right? And we're talking about a wide scope of things like quarreling with your downline, criticizing them, or scolding them. So just a quick story, right? I had a top leader in my organization, and all she did all the time was criticize her team members, scold them in front of other team members, like she's the boss and they're her employees. So what happened at the end of the day? It's very sad. She lost her entire organization, and she went from the top rank to nothing. And today she's no longer in this business. So don't make that same mistake, okay? Don't treat your team members like your employees, because they are not. They are your business partners, and they can just turn their heads and walk away tomorrow, right? If they wanted to. Okay, so 5 golden rules, everybody. Can you remember? Any new ideas or concepts, please consult with your working mentors. Number 2, do not pass negative things downwards. Always be positive. Number 3, do not criticize, complain, and compare, right? And don't go and cross-recruit other team members. Number 4, do not get involved in financial issues. And number 5, do not get involved in relationship, emotional issues in your team. Okay, so those are the 5 golden rules, everybody. And lastly, before I end today's training, let me give you 5 core values that you need to instill in your team. Number 1 is integrity, okay? Leaders always have integrity, all right? We need to do what we say what we do, walk the talk, and talk the walk, okay? This is what we want to do. Number 2 is respect. Always have mutual respect with your team members like they are your business partners, not your employees. Number 3 is edification. You always want to edify each other, whether it's your team member or your mentor. Edification is actually a very good way, right, to build up trust, relationship in your team members, because you're always saying good things about each other. Number 4 is gratitude. Always be thankful for your team, thankful for your working mentors who have helped you. When you get recognized on stage, when you progress to the next rank, don't forget to always first thank your working mentors, okay? The people who helped you get to where you are today. Don't start growing horns on your heads thinking that you're on top of the world, you're a Superman. That's when you start to fall the hardest, okay? And number 5, the last core value is teamwork, guys, okay? Always instill teamwork. Together, everyone achieves more. If you want to succeed big in this business, build a strong team of leaders who trust you, right, respect you, and will stay with you through thick or thin, no matter what happens. So, thank you very much, everybody. That's it for my training today. I hope to see you at the next big event on stage after all this is over, and see you get that $1 million or IMD ring. I'm Dennis Bay. I'll see you at the top.
The next level we're going to